What's going on, everyone? It's meteorologist Hunter Ward coming to you in the new year 2024. It is January the 3rd, and we've got a system, actually, a couple systems that are moving in. A chance for a few snow flurries tonight, maybe a possible snow shower in the higher elevations. Nothing too big, I don't think, for western North Carolina, but kind of all eyes have moved towards the system that's going to move in late Friday night and early Saturday morning for you around western North Carolina. So some differing opinions among the models. You know, we went back and forth these past couple days. A lot of you guys have been asking my opinion, and honestly, I've been struggling to form an opinion on this because, you know, the models that showed a real amped up system and not a strong high pressure that was going to provide a good bit of cold air. And so that's been my concern as to forecasting any type of snow. These type of situations lend to a receding high pressure and ice changing to rain throughout the system. And so a lot on our table here as forecasters. It looks like the cold air is going to lock in for maybe 2 to 4 hours as the initial moisture comes in late Friday night, early Saturday morning. And that could be snowfall for even down into the valley locations around Asheville, Waynesville, even Silva and Franklin could see the initial precipitation begin as snow, but will taper down to a freezing rain, sleet, and then to a rain as the system moves out sometime on Saturday afternoon. That low pressure will push up. We'll have a warm nose coming in, and from that we'll get a mixed bag of precipitation. Let's go ahead and turn around to my screen. I want to thank All In Dumpster Rentals. Patrick's the man, and CP Cruz and Company. Adrian and her crew can take care of all of your tax needs. So we'll go ahead and start. Let's check around town. These cameras are always available for you folks. Better Homes and Garden Realty, Maggie Valley Live camera, downtown Asheville, Grimes Tice Anderson camera. We've got the Better Homes and Gardens camera in downtown Canton. BannerElk.com live camera there, as we've got some kind of smoke coming out. That's really interesting, just hanging around in the valley, and we've got some snowfall that's still in those higher elevations. They've actually been picking up a couple dustings here over the course of the past couple days. Ward's Plumbing, HVAC, downtown Silva camera here. Got a beautiful view there of downtown. Let's look at the Lynn Freeman Bush Realty on the Hands-On Museum, the Blue Ridge Real Estate camera there in downtown Hendersonville. And let's do one more. We'll check out the TJ Hooper Nationwide Mountain Valley Cannabis camera here, and beautiful view of downtown Brevard there. All of these live cameras, still working on getting a couple of them up. We've had some real bad network issues, and so you guys don't understand kind of the ins and outs, but we're always working on these, trying to keep them up. And so it's a moving target to get all of them up and running. But Sam, my IT guy, I think he'll have everything rocking and rolling by Friday night into Saturday for you. So let's talk a little bit about this system that's going to be coming in. So first and foremost, we'll talk about this moisture. This swath of moisture is going to be moving towards western North Carolina this evening. And so not really showing up anything here. We're also seeing some real dryness on the model, or on the radar here. And then eventually some of this begins to hit the surface. I believe later this evening, some locations could begin to see some, a few flurries, similar to what we saw the other day. Maybe as the sun sets, the snow could pick up a little bit for those areas along the North Carolina, South Carolina border. That seems to be where this moisture stream is going to come from. Excuse me here. So that is really what we're talking about this evening. Nothing too big here, but chance to see some snowflakes around western North Carolina. And so here's the GFS, showing this on pivotalweather.com. And so we'll run this out. Here's the low pressure today. You're seeing that moisture I just showed you on the models. It's going to come up. See that little swath of snow right there on, kind of the tip of North Carolina. I don't know exactly who will see snow, but I do think we'll have a couple locations reporting in later this evening. Surprise flurries in, Bryson City, Franklin, somewhere like that. And so as we run this out, here's our system ejecting out of Texas. And, sorry, ran that ahead too quickly. And ejects out of Texas, meanders along the Gulf. And so this is late Saturday or late Friday night, early Saturday morning. And so let's zero in on this. Get a little bit closer. We can kind of show you what this model is showing. This is the GFS again. Right around 10 p.m. on Friday. Here's your timestamp right there. Franklin, Clay County, anywhere southwest Andrews, Murphy area. This model is showing snow. Let's show you what the atmosphere is. This is kind of a slice through of the atmosphere. And so it's showing right at 32 degrees right there at the surface. And that parcel of moisture is going to fall through air that is all below freezing. So no real chance for it to melt. And so best guess precipitation type is snow. So as we progress, we'll show you how this warms up. So I'm just going to run this slice through the atmosphere. Continues. Check this out. So you can see that warm nose moves in the next 3 hours. This is your zero isotherm. Comes all the way down through the atmosphere. Your parcel of air right here, that's your temperature, that red line. And it gets right above, these are your height lines right here, 800, 700 millibar. And so, or 850. And so right around 3,500 feet right here, it looks to go 4,000 feet. It looks to go above freezing. And so that parcel of air, that snowflakes coming through the atmosphere, and it starts to melt as it gets above freezing. Now, how long it stays in that zone in between, freezing and 37 degrees of that melt happening. Sometimes we have that snowflake that melts and it gets into a ball and that's sleet, and then it'll hit the ground. And so, sometimes we have another layer of air that pushes in and it's a little bit colder. And so that melting snowflake falls through that freezing and then it starts to refreeze again. So there's going to be several instances like this that set up all around western North Carolina in these pockets zones. And so I'll do my best to explain it, but it's really difficult to nail down exactly who's going to see snow for how long in these periods that are going to change. So run this forward to 1 a.m. That, in my opinion, for snow lovers, if you want to see snow with this event, stay awake from around 10 to 2. That seems to be the best period for accumulating snowfall around Buncombe County, around Haywood County, a little bit earlier as you traverse to the southwest tip of western North Carolina, Franklin, Andrews, Murphy, Bryson City. All of those locations look to switch a little bit earlier, but start as snow a little bit earlier. And so as this model progresses out, you can see the warm nose really becomes predominant as the morning progresses. 4 a.m. here. No precipitation really. I'll pull the slice through of the atmosphere up here. You can see temperatures though right here. Very borderline. Even, it goes above freezing for just a little bit. That's why this model is showing freezing rain right here. So drops below freezing right there at the surface. That indicates we got a little bit of cold air damming from a high pressure in here. So we got a little bit of high pressure providing a little bit of cold air, but as the morning progresses, that warm nose just becomes predominant. Around 7 a.m., heavy precipitation's moving in. That warm nose is getting closer in the atmosphere. We switch to like a heavy sleet, and then we could go to rainfall. So this is what the GFS is showing. This model, just one model, it's about to run again. We've been seeing the consistency of snow to rain, snow to sleet to rain, snow to freezing rain to rain. And so that progression looks to have kind of locked itself in. I do think that most places will see a mixed bag of precipitation. Now, how warm does this warm nose trend? How weak is the high pressure that's controlling the cold air that's moving in from the east? All of that is still yet to be determined. Our short range models are still getting a hold of that. So I think it's worth doing another update, with other, opinions as we progress. We'll get more and more models involved to where we can get a better idea of exactly where that ice is going to set up. How much cold air damming are we going to have? How much cold air damming? When I say that, I'm talking about high pressure, really funneling air in along the Blue Ridge Escarpment. You've got air that comes in, cold air that banks up against those mountains, and it just stays there as a cold layer, and then above it gets warmer and warmer, so you can get freezing rain that develops. It can be 40 degrees in the atmosphere above and then drop into the 20s as the moisture gets right to the surface, and that is due to cold air damming, a high pressure pulling in that cold air that's in the north, counterclockwise motion, bringing it in, and you've got high pressure that banks up that air, interacts with the storm, and creates these really, really difficult forecasts. So let's show you what the European model shows now. We'll get a differing opinion here. So this is actually the 6Z, just came out about 3 hours ago. So interestingly enough, most models are showing the chance for some snow tonight. Around the European models even showing it into North Georgia. Now, nothing too impactful, I believe, but nonetheless, a chance to see snowflakes around western North Carolina. As we progress this model, you'll see the moisture begin to move in again. 1 a.m., like I'm saying, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 a.m., best chance around Asheville to see that wintry precipitation, that initial onset of snow. Likely will change within 2 to 3 hours of starting as snow. Could pick up a couple inches, given the heavy precipitation that could be moving through. So, as this progresses, very similar to what the GFS is showing. So there's some good consensus right here. We'll show you the cut through right here. Right there at 31, it's got that little bit of warm nose. That may not melt those snowflakes. This model's best guess, freezing rain. So just a really difficult forecast, honestly, as you look forward. It doesn't look like it's going to be all snow for snow lovers, but a good combination. Snow lovers on the front end, but I don't see this being something that shuts down Asheville completely, especially with the warming that's going to occur. I think we switched to all rain by about 1 p.m. Let's see what the temperatures show here. That low pressure is going to go right over Buncombe County. So 40 degrees. I mean, if we do get some icing, it's not like this is locking in. We've got a bunch of cold. There's a chance for things to melt, even if we do get some icing into Saturday. And so watch as we run the model out here. I'll show you what it's showing freezing rain-wise. The main locations, I mean, this always sets up like this on the Blue Ridge Escarpment when we've got these high pressures. And so these locations right here where I've got my cursor, portions of Rutherford County, even like Lake Lure, parts of Henderson County, even Brevard, you guys see a lot of these setups. But the farther north you go, closer to Boone, I think that's where the danger kind of comes in for power outages. I think more north and east of Asheville are the areas that could see that ice accumulate as the system moves out. And so I honestly don't think this is a super high impact system for the Asheville area, for Waynesville. I think a little bit more north and east of Asheville, you will see some power outages possible on the Blue Ridge Escarpment. You could even see some develop in Henderson and Transylvania County. A tough call, though. I'll give you guys some more information here as we progress. Just wanted to pop in, give you guys my thoughts. I know I've been a little bit quiet about this. Been getting lots of messages from you guys, so just a lot of uncertainty here on my end. Don't want to hype up a system and make you guys think a bunch of snowfall's coming, and then not be able to forecast that because the models change. Sometimes it's best to just wait figure out what exactly the situation is. Models will show stuff that don't actually come to fruition 5 days out. And so, as meteorologists, we do our best to kind of sift through the information. You see a lot of things shared online, and so we'll do our best to put together our forecast. And I'll get back with you guys soon. Not going to take any questions right now because I don't really know exact locations, and exactly what could fall at your house. Just wanted to give a general overview of what's possible. So thank you guys for joining me. Check back soon for more info. Thanks.